right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Raw Intuition Health Show. We're doing another Q&A session here, call-in show, so you guys can call in and get on the show with me to ask your questions, and I hope there will be people willing to do that. What's up, JJ? Good to see you here. Otherwise, you can also ask a question just in the chat. All right, so you can just put it in the chat and make sure to put like 3 or 4 question marks in front of your question so that I can see it easily, and we will get some questions answered. So while we're going to be doing the show today, I'm going to do a little bit of a mukbang. So I'm going to be eating my watermelon, and so I don't typically eat during the show, but today, breaking the rules. All right. And it is a delicious, unfortunately it is seedless, but organic from the farmer's market, so it's really good. All right, what's up, Carl, Tessa? Good to see you guys here as well. Thanks for always being here, and hope you guys have some good questions. If you want to jump on the show, you're more than welcome. I just got to get the chat room set up here. Tessa says, I had watermelon juice yesterday. Nice. I'm actually going to make some watermelon juice once I eat out the insides here. I'll juice the rind. That's really good if you've never done it. All right. And I actually just recently, I learned that you can, I knew this a little while ago, but I was reminded of it, that you can eat the rind. All right. So I have actually tried it out the other day. It's not bad. It's kind of like a cucumber almost. If you've never done it, maybe give it a try. If it's organic, don't be eating no conventional watermelon rinds. But if it's organic and it's from especially the farmer's market, it's worth giving a shot. So, all right, I'm going to. Tessa doesn't know if she'd do that. Well, you never know, Tessa. It's a good day to try something new. All right, so give it a try, see what you think, and let us know. Okay, I'm going to make the chat room here for you guys. If you want to jump on and be part of the show visually, you can sure do that. I'm going to put the link into the chat. There we go. It's right there, staring you in the face. Click it. Click it if you want to join. All right, so let me, and now, again, I've only done this once, and I actually should have prepared better, but I didn't really prepare. I didn't really practice getting the room set up, but I can definitely figure it out, and I'll get you guys working. So we did switch the audio settings on here. That's what was causing some issues last week, or 2 weeks ago, I think. So now the audio and the video should work, and so we can get some high quality conversation going here with the audio and the video working, and I hope you enjoy that. So any questions just to start us off? Otherwise, I just went through my notes. So I have notebooks and sticky notes full of different types of information just from studying and researching and things. So I figured, if there's no questions right away, I could just jump into rambling off some of my notes and just kind of talking about that. So if that is what we have to do, we will do it, and we'll get this show going. And we should probably just go until noon, or an hour from now, essentially. Noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. I always say Eastern Time because most people, for some reason, it's easier for them to understand what time it is when I use Eastern Time versus Central Time, because I'm in Minnesota, as you guys probably know. But yeah. So anyways, Carl jumping in with the first question. Thank you, Carl. Great question, by the way. Foods to keep the brain young. All right. That is something that I have actually just been looking into. I didn't go into it looking in, I wasn't focusing on brain health necessarily, but the topics, I'm writing my new book. And one of the sections of the book, I'm of course talking about pigments. And pigments, I mean, I could literally, the whole book could be on pigments, and it's turning into a pretty big section of this book. So, um, they're really amazing. So the first thing for brain health, Carl, is pigments. All right, pigments are so powerful in keeping the brain young, keeping the brain, um, so the hypothalamus is where your so the book is mostly the book is about how to create or how to achieve your ideal body weight. All right, and so what I have been looking into over the last few weeks is how these pigments are anti-inflammatory to the hypothalamus. All right, so the hypothalamus contains something called the arcuate nucleus, and this is where the brain senses hormones like leptin and insulin. And so when you consume a diet that is low in pigments, but especially that is high in saturated fat and actually animal protein, because you're getting higher amounts of branched chain amino acids, which are more concentrated in animal products. That inflames the hypothalamus and dysregulates the leptin sensitivity. So leptin is a hormone secreted by fat cells, and when you consume enough food and your body is putting on, you have enough energy in terms of, fat storage, that signals to your brain that you don't need to keep eating, right? And so your leptin, the fat cells secrete the leptin, the brain, the hypothalamus recognizes it, and your hunger drive shuts off. And also in a more, a faster fashion than just fat stores, but also just how many calories you're taking in, nutrients you're taking in. There's nutrient receptors, calorie receptors, stretch receptors that all signal to the hypothalamus, letting it know to turn down the hunger drive, right? So when you consume pigments, they protect the hypothalamus. They protect the whole brain, but specifically the hypothalamus, and help to increase leptin sensitivity. And they also, so they are prebiotics, so they feed your good gut bacteria. They encourage the growth of beneficial bacteria like Akkermansia muciniphila, which is what some people call a keystone strain of gut bacteria, which just means it is basically a marker of good gut health to have higher levels of Akkermansia in your gut. And so the pigments help to increase the population of Akkermansia, and Akkermansia are, they're very powerful little guys. They do a lot of different things, but they are associated with, better leptin sensitivity and energy regulation, energy balance in the body. And then also butyrate producing bacteria, which the pigments help to grow. Butyrate also lowers appetite in a healthy way, right? So it regulates your appetite in a good way. And then also, the butyrate is said to balance your leptin sensitivity. It increases leptin sensitivity. So those are some of the things that I've been looking into, that I've been putting into the book. So I hope that's interesting. I try to make it interesting in the book. I try not to bore you guys. This is a section that I'm writing right now that is pretty heavy in the science, and so I'm putting in little blurbs from studies and things that show, they kind of back up this information. But yeah, the pigments, Carl, that's where I would start for brain health. I would say reduce saturated fat intake, reduce animal protein intake. So nothing new, on this channel. And then increase the pigments in your diet, because that is the power. That's where the power is. The pigments, there's so many things, there's so much information that I'm trying to figure out how to put it in this book that it's not too long. Like, I'm not trying to make an encyclopedia, but so interesting. Pigments are very interesting molecules. So anyways, that's where I'd start. Hope that helps. Thanks for the question. Let's see. Does washing your produce, this is from Carl as well. Thank you, Carl. Does washing your produce in baking soda actually make a difference? It seems too easy. There are studies showing that it does make a difference. It is so there's a few things. I think one of the main things is that it neutralizes. So the alkalinity in the baking soda neutralizes some of the synthetic pesticides. So that's one thing that the baking soda can help with. I think also because it's more like abrasive, it can help to remove some of the dirt or the residue of some of those things. And so having the baking soda in there helps. I mean, even just using plain water has been shown to be helpful in getting rid of some of these things like pesticides. But yes, Naomi, I mean color, any color. So pigments are just colors. But yeah, so the baking soda, I think, is a good thing to add. I do that pretty regularly. And then, but also, again, you can just use water too, and that's helpful as well. But from what I've seen, adding the baking soda can just be an added benefit to help remove a little bit more of what's on there. So, let's see here. You are so welcome. Tessa says my favorite pigments are red and green. Great. Those are some great pigments, Tessa. It again, I could do like a 5-hour show just on what I've learned about pigments and how they impact our cellular function, our genetic expression. They initiate certain metabolic pathways that have a whole host of different effects in the body. Did you so I'm kind of looking at the similarities of how the traffic engineers, how in traffic, on the roads, they use red, yellow, and green. Well, they use all these different colors. All right, they use pretty much every color, right? From stoplights to stop signs to caution signs to road construction signs to different things. So they've got purple signs, they've got orange signs, they've got yellow signs, green signs, blue signs. All right, so they've got all these different colors. And they use those colors like specifically because, so there's warm colors, there's cool colors, and there's neutral colors. So warm colors like red, yellow, orange, the Cheetos, right? Tessa's going with the orange. Now, Tessa likes red and green, so maybe she gets flaming hot Cheetos. But yeah, so they use these different types of colors to get a different reaction from the driver, right? So they put the warm colors on, the things that they need your immediate attention, like the red for a stop sign or for a stoplight. So they want your immediate attention. They want you to do something immediate. The yellow or the cool colors like blue, green, some other ones are like informative. Like, it's not like super, like, they don't need your super like quick attention. It's like on they tell you the name of the street or the exit coming up, or something like that. So anyways, I'm just finding it fascinating how the psychology behind colors plays into how they use colors on the roads. And then also, when you look at that from a biological perspective, the colors, it does similar things within the body and how it alters cellular function, and genetic expression. And so, we can kind of make comparisons there in how it affects our body. And so the reds are like great for the brain, but also for the cardiovascular system. It red foods can potentially like raise your the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system. So even just looking at red can raise your heart rate and blood pressure. And so yeah, just fascinating little things. And cool colors do the opposite, like blue, green. They can lower blood pressure and you know turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. So yeah, just again, I'm forming all of this into hopefully an interesting story in this book. So yeah. Anyways, getting on to a tangent here, just rambling. Let's see. Where are the questions here? I think I was gonna go somewhere with that, and then I got distracted with other thoughts. Sherry likes all pigments equally. Look at that. Sherry's and just loves everybody and all colors. Let's see here. Tessa says Cheetos food coloring turned mice transparent. Turn them transparent? How did that happen? I will say there's a big difference between the natural pigments that you'll find in plants versus the pigments that you'll find in processed foods, usually in processed foods and even things like, fabrics and things. Those are synthetic pigments that are made from petroleum byproducts, all right? So nowhere near the same thing. So you don't want to go eating, you know, Cheetos or Skittles thinking you're getting the same benefits as eating those colors and plants. I know I don't have to tell that to you guys. It's pretty common sense, but just a little fun fact there that those pigments are made from uh, petroleum. Naomi says, I call myself high raw. I now eat dinner, always salad. Very nice. I hope you've got 5-star salad revolution. Oh, you know what? I am sorry. But yes, I hope you have that. If not, check it out. All right, it looks like we do have somebody in the waiting room. I am sorry, whoever that is. I will get working here on getting you brought into the show. Oh, sorry, there was more to this. I steam my broccoli a little bit. What is your opinion on this? The steaming. Yeah, steaming I think is totally fine. I think it's great. All right. If you're going to cook anything, steaming is what would be considered conscious cooking in my book. All right. So there's cooking with things like dry heat, baking, frying, things like that. I would stay away from that as much as you can, but steaming, pressure cooking, boiling, these use wet heat. So there's going to be much less cooked food toxins like acrylamides and advanced glycation end products and polycystic aromatic hydrocarbons, all these big fancy words, but you're going to get less of those reactions from the cooking process when you use wet heat versus when you use dry heat. And so I think if you're going to cook food, do it with wet heat and also always eat it with a salad. Those are my like two kind of things that I would stick to when you're eating cooked food, and that's going to give you the best digestion and it's going to give you the most nutrition and it's going to give you, the best outcomes, I would say. All right. So let's see here. Let me try and get this this virtual chat working. Man, I hope this works. Let's see. Studio mode. Ring. All right, I'm just going to talk you guys through this process, even though you have no idea. while I do this, I'll try and answer questions as well. Judith says, if you are raw, whole food, plant based, and are you then considered vegan as well? If you are raw, whole food, plant based, are you then considered? No, I don't think so. I would say that there could be people that are whole food, plant based, and still consume animal products. So you wouldn't necessarily be vegan just because you're whole food, plant based. I know there's some people out there that would more prefer the term whole food plant exclusive. If you were whole food plant exclusive, then I would probably consider you to be vegan, or yeah, I guess you could even debate that. Because vegan is really just the ethical philosophy, whereas being whole food plant based or whole food plant exclusive could just be for dietary health reasons. So you're not necessarily vegan just because you eat only plants, but technically you kind of are. It's the same effect, but it's just a little bit different in the terms of, the psychology or the philosophy behind that. Good question. All right, what am I doing here? Yeah, feel bad. Whoever's been sitting in the waiting room here, it's probably been several minutes. So still working on it. We're gonna make it happen. Let's see. Sherry, what's up, Sherry? Thanks for being here. Sherry says, what are the biggest challenges you've faced as a raw vegan? Ooh, good question. Good question. The biggest challenges that I've faced as being raw vegan, um, probably just fitting in. Not that I try to fit in, but just being a part of society. you know, Whether it's work meetings or like work outings, lunches, or anything like that. I work from home now, but back when I worked in the office, it was like it was fine. There was no issues, but just always having to explain to somebody like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I just eat plants or I just eat raw plants." So, you know, it's some people don't want to go through that situation. I mean, I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I was okay with doing it. Um, so yeah. Okay, let's see. I'll let me think. Okay. Another. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Heath, do you like them? I was thinking about going to get them cleaned. I haven't. It's been a few years since I've gotten them cleaned. I want to do that, and then I can make a dental video again because then my teeth are extra white and sparkly. So yeah, still no cavities. Been what, nearly 14 years eating this diet. A lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables and greens as well. I think that's important. So people out there with being concerned about their dental issues, get in a good amount of leafy greens. Check out this book. I was actually just reading through this book again this morning. I am a little biased, but I think it's a great book. And I think everybody out there should grab a copy. And then when you grab a copy, go leave an Amazon review with an honest opinion. But I would love some more Amazon reviews. That would be great. Okay. Tessa says, I usually just tell people that I have allergies. Yeah, that's a great way to go. Usually works every time. Um, another another challenge. Trying to get our guest here. Show. Worked. All right, I think we have our guest primed in the waiting room, and so we can bring her on here any moment. So to finish my answer here, the other challenge that I would say I have faced is probably, and it's much easier now today than it used to be in the past, like when I first started into this lifestyle, which is a good reason for people to, understand that it can take time with any new life change to get the hang of it, and all of a sudden after a while it becomes a natural part of your life. But I would say, especially if you're trying to be 100% raw, one of the things that I found challenging was the always having good ripe fruit available, because especially in Minnesota, you know, it's hit or miss. And so there's weeks or months at a time where it's just like bananas and apples, and that's about it for consistent good produce. Stone fruits always suck here, almost always. I don't remember the last time I had a good peach or nectarine or plum. It's just they're just like rocks, and so they never really ripen correctly in my experience. Um, so yeah. Oh yeah, and grapes are usually pretty consistent, but yeah. So just a consistent availability of high quality fruit. Um, Not that it's bad, like I get by, but you know that can be challenging, especially for people that they don't have all the time to always be going to the grocery store and stocking up on fresh bananas and whatever else. So that is why I do recommend people take the approach of being flexible, right? Raw is law has never worked, in my opinion, unless there's a very small amount of people that it works for. But raw is law has caused more people to probably go carnivore or some weird variation of diet outside of whole food plant based diet than in terms of people that try to be raw, right? Because it's just, unless you're living in a place that's very conducive to that lifestyle, it can be difficult and it can be discouraging when it doesn't work. So having flexibility and just using um, a balanced approach can really be helpful. And yes, I apologize. I apologize to looks like we've got Mallory coming in here. Mallory, thank you so much for joining the show. There, I'll wait. Okay, she's there. Let's hopefully this works. Let me see if it works. Oh, can you guys see Mallory?
Hi.
Hello, Mallory. Can you hear me?
Hi, guys.
Hey, can you hear me? Okay.
Just making sure I can hear you. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
I have you on my laptop too.
Oh, cool.
So I can hear you through my laptop.
Nice.
But for some reason, I can't hear you on my phone.
Oh, really?
But for some reason, I can't hear you on my phone.
Oh, I'm getting the feedback. I can hear the video. And everybody else?
Do you know why my phone won't play it?
Let me see. Sometimes there's a oh, hold on. Did it do it?
Oh, now. Yeah. Okay, I'll mute my laptop. Perfect. Okay, is that good? Oh, okay. Let me see. I wonder if you're echoing. I'll check on my laptop. Let me see. I wonder if you're echoing. I'll check on my laptop. Can you say something? Can you say something? I don't think you're echoing on mine. Sorry. I don't, on my laptop you didn't echo. Can you hear me? Thanks, Tessa. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, what if I just like turn my laptop off? Maybe, is that it? Oh no. So yeah, I put in the chat, guys, that I had pawpaw fruit yesterday. Oh my god, it was so good. It must be, I've never had durian, so sometimes I wonder if that's kind of like what durian tastes like. Similar, what I wonder. If anyone's had pawpaw and durian, let me know. I've never had durian. Maybe that's a good thing. I'll be right back. I have to tell my kids something. Sorry, guys. They're not hearing you. Should I go out and come in? Okay. Okay. Can probably hear my kid though.
All right, guys, we are back, but we are going to try redoing the chat room here. Okay, now you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. It's got to be, yeah, it's something with this program. But yeah, so now we we closed out. So Mallory has left the building for now. She's going to try and come back in. I'm just going to post a new link and we'll see if that works. And if not, then I have sabotaged another show. One of these days, guys, we will get this working smoothly and it'll work. So until then, put your questions in the chat and I can answer them that way. Now, let's see. Did I miss any? No, I don't think so. Stacy from the Urban Pharmacy. If anybody out there isn't following Stacy, go follow Stacy at the Urban Pharmacy. Amazing. She says, Pawpaw and durian don't taste the same. They are each amazing in their own way. Agreed. Well, I've never had Pawpaw. I have had durian many times. And yes, durian is amazing. I can't believe Mallory has not had durian. She needs to definitely go try some. But yeah, I've never had pawpaw. So apparently pawpaw is like very difficult to transport, and that's why it isn't available, in grocery stores. So you got to live in a place that they grow. Apparently, wherever Mallory's at is a good place. So, and Stacy too. Stacy, you're in Indiana, right? Which isn't that far from Minnesota. Why am I not getting? Actually, you know what? I did. I think they grow in Illinois as well because I went to Vegan Mania in Chicago multiple years ago, quite a while ago now, and I ran into Mike Velacity. I think that's his last name, Velacity, right? Yeah, Mike Velacity. And he had pawpaws there. He had one, but I didn't get to taste it because he said he was bringing it to a friend. So unfortunately, I didn't get to try it. I did get to see it, so I just didn't get to try it. But yeah, so it must grow. I've never heard of them growing in Minnesota, but Illinois is only like a 6-hour drive, if that, from here. So just have to make the trip. See what happens. Okay. And also, I will be part of the vegan, what is it called? The vegan wellness retreat. I could be wrong on the name, but there's a retreat coming up next August that I'm going to be a speaker at in northern Michigan. And so if anybody out there wants to sign up and the Urban Pharmacy, Stacy's going to be there as well. I saw on the little picture of people that's going to be there. I saw Stacy was on there. So Stacy, I can't wait to actually meet you in person. So yeah, anybody out there that wants to make a trip to northern Michigan, and I haven't pulled together all the information about all the details about the festival or the retreat, but all I know right now is that it's next August. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's going to be a Sunday through a Thursday, and there's going to be Doug Graham's going to be there. Misfit Vegan's going to be there. Lissa and Nate are going to be there. Stacy's going to be there. There's going to be a bunch of other people there. And so I have a code if you guys want to get $100 off. It's Matt100, but I don't have the link yet to give you. I might have it in my emails, so I will get that. I'll make a post with that if you guys want to meet me in person or, just come to, meet anybody else in person, not just me, but if you want to come have some fun It's going to be all the food is going to be raw. It's going to be organic and appeal free. And then yeah, it's going to be amazing. I think the chef is going to be Doug Graham's chef, which her name is Sherry. I don't know what her last name is, but I guess she must be the chef at Doug's when he does a retreat or something. So that's cool. So yeah, I think it sounds like it's going to be a great time. So definitely next year, next August, I'm going to try and get Sherry to be there. Sherry might be there. Oh, Sherry Lederman. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah. So anybody who wants to go, use my link. That'd be cool. Otherwise, and yeah, you get $100 off if you use my code. And I'm guessing Stacy has a code as well. So if you want to support Stacy, you can do that as well. So spread the love. All right. Okay. Tessa says thoughts on the program. Oh, sorry. Hold on. See, I'm getting distracted again. I gotta get this chat room set up. I need a producer. I need somebody to be on here doing this for me in the moment. All right. Anyways, let's see. What other questions do we have while I try to get this chat back up? Oh, Mallory's back. What's up, Mallory? She said, yeah, Pawpaw gets super ripe super fast and then goes bad right away. Right. That is what I've heard. So yeah, it's unfortunately gotta live in the area. Or maybe fortunately. Maybe that's a good thing. But Mallory, you gotta go get some durian. I'm telling you. Okay. Oops. Alright guys, I'm just trying to make sure go through that long explanation and you guys couldn't hear anything I said? Oh no. All right, that's insane. Yeah, I just closed out of this program, and so now you can hear me again. Man, that's frustrating. so, so I am sorry, Mallory. Thank you so much for trying to join the show. I'm gonna have to work on getting this figured out, and I hope Mallory and anybody else that wants to join will join the next time we do this. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I just, yeah, I'm gonna sit down this week and go through it. We're gonna do some practice runs. We're gonna figure it out so that it works for sure. Um, and so we do have a guest next week. And then I'm trying to get some more guests lined up after that. But if there's any time I'm not able to get a guest, I will do one of these shows where once it works, we'll bring people in and they can ask their questions on the show. Um, but yeah, so sorry, Mallory. Thank you so much. I appreciate you trying to be on the show. Save your question for next time if you had one. And yeah, I would be happy to have you back on. And again, anybody else who wants to get on, I think we're gonna, as we get this thing going, it's gonna be more seamless and we'll have some fun with it. So let me. Okay, so let's see. Where did you guys hear anything that I said about pigments? So I was trying to answer Judith's question about the bananas and apples. Did you guys hear that, or did I just not come across at all? I don't want to repeat it if you heard any of it, but ridiculous. Thank you for letting me know, by the way. Yeah, anytime you stop hearing me or the audio has some issues, please put it in the comments right away. And I'm sure you probably did, but I was rambling. Oh, you didn't hear it. Okay, none of it. Wow. Yeah, all right. So where was I? So Judith asked about the bananas and apples. She eats a lot of bananas and apples. She said, "Am I getting? I eat a lot of bananas and apples. Are they yellow and red or considered white as the inside is white?" Okay, so great question. Very great question. That you're getting in terms of bananas. Sorry, there's a noise at my door. I think my cat's trying to get in. Bananas. So in terms of apples, sorry, we'll start with apples. Apples, you're going to get some of the red because it's in the skin, but on the inside, and I'm not exactly sure which pigments make the inside of apples the color they are. I'm thinking it could be the same as in bananas because I know in bananas you're getting xanthocyanins, all right? So not anthocyanins. Those are the purples and the reds. Xanthocyanins with an X. Xanthocyanins. These are what give you the yellow color and the cream colors and white colors, right? So they're in onions, they're in bananas, they're probably in apples in terms of the inside. I'm not exactly sure about the apples, but I know onions and the allium family as well as bananas, probably durian, I would guess. Yeah, so xanthocyanins, these are the yellow pigments. And the cool thing about these pigments, what I was explaining to nobody earlier, the pigments, the reason for the pigments in plants is to help them absorb more frequencies of light. All right, so everybody knows chlorophyll is green. It's green, and you probably already know this, but it's green because when sunshine comes down, we're getting all the colors of the rainbow. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And so the chlorophyll is absorbing all those colors except for green. It absorbs a little bit, but not very efficiently. And so it reflects green, and that's why it looks green. So it the plant benefits from absorbing more frequencies of light. And so that's why there's And chlorophyll has multiple types of chlorophyll. So there's like chlorophyll A, B, C, D, and so on. But the main ones are chlorophyll A and B, but specifically chlorophyll A in terms of photosynthesis. And so to get more benefit from the sunlight, the plants have these additional pigments. Oh, you get the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blues. And so, all these different pigments are absorbing different frequencies of light. And so that is what is, right, watermelon. That is a big benefit to the plant having these different colors and pigments. And so, and also, even beyond just for the photosynthesis process, these colors are antibacterial. They help the plant's immune system in fighting off fungus and bacteria, as well as their defense system in terms of like insects that are biting them. They'll produce more of these pigments to, deter the plants or deter the insects. And then they're also used for attracting pollinators like bees and butterflies and different and humans, seed dispersing animals like humans. And so, these pigments play so many vital roles for the survival of plants. And then when we consume them, I think we actually get more benefits from the pigments than the plants get themselves. So it's like it's a pretty interesting relationship that we have with pigments. And you talk about like a primal diet. I want you to think that's like eating flesh and things, but really, there's nothing more primal than our relationship with plants and colors. So eating the colorful plants is how we really take in everything that we need and start influencing our biology in a way that promotes the best health. Because we not only do we absorb, or not only do we eat the rainbow, but we absorb the rainbow through our skin, and it has benefits. And then we also absorb the rainbow. We see the rainbow through our eyes. We absorb these light frequencies through our eyes, and that affects our physiology. Like I said earlier, I think you guys probably heard me, I hope. When you see colors, that influences blood pressure and hormone levels and, all these different things and genetics. So seeing colors, absorbing colors through the sunlight, and also eating colors. So really, our whole life is based around color. And so if we're eating a diet that is lacking color, it is going to produce less than optimal results. So anyways, yes, Judith, long answer to that question. We do get the yellow and white pigments, which are oftentimes going to be xanthocyanins. I mean, in the peel, I'm not exactly sure if in the peel is more, there might be carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin, but I kind of feel like I don't know. It's hard to say. And then also, to determine the color is, I'm trying to remember if I already said this in this section or in this explanation or the last one. The acidity of the environment in that plant is going to dictate the actual color that is shown. So, like anthocyanins, like the acidity of the plant that it's in the environment that it's in the plant is going to, I think it's more acidic fruits or leaves are going to have more purple, and then more alkaline produces more of a red hue in the color. So, I mean, there's different factors that determine like which shade of a color the pigments show, but it's really important to get all the different colors and the different variations of those colors because yeah, they all have different effects. They're all anti-inflammatory. They're all antioxidants, but they all have little unique properties to them that benefit us. So yeah, definitely something to think about. Get it. That's also why eating white foods, which I know a lot of people think white foods are bad. White foods like onions and bananas, you can say is a white food. Potatoes, even beans, they have these white pigments, which are those xanthocyanins, and they're very healthy for us. So it's another thing to think about, in terms of which colors you're consuming. Don't neglect the white. Hope that helps. Okay. Could you see now? I forget what I said when I was muted and what I didn't say. So I think I was talking about the retreat, like Sherry Lederman, our friend Sherry mentioned is going to be the chef. So I think I said that before I got muted. But anyways, if you have any questions about the retreat or anything, I will get more information on that before the next show or the next time I talk about it. But yeah, again, you can get $100 off if you want to go to it using code MATT100 when you sign up. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool people there, and it's going to be a good time. It's Sunday through Thursday in August. I got to figure out the exact dates, but it'll be fun. Would love to see any of you guys there. That would be really cool. Any other questions before I log off? Did pass the noon mark, so here in Minnesota. So yeah. Sherry says, fun fact, she is Sherry Lederman and I am Sherry Gittleman. That is a fun fact. Sherry, are you a chef as well? If you guys were both chefs, that would be impressive. That would be. Then we would need to get you guys to do a retreat together, and then you could market it as the Sherry Retreat or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm clearly lacking pigments for my brain, I think. Okay. Oh, that's a good, Mallory, that's a good suggestion. But at the same time, I want to be able to interact with people that join. But if for whatever reason I can't figure out how to get the sound to work, yeah, that could be a thing where the person can come onto the show, ask their question via video, and then I can close out and answer it afterwards. That's not as fun, but yeah. Oh, was there more? Okay, Sherry said, I just squeezed tahini on iceberg. Does that make me a chef? Sherry, I would hire you for my retreat. So when I get a retreat going, Sherry Gittleman is going to be the featured chef. So to make sure that I get as many people wanting to come to the retreat as possible, I'll use Sherry's name. So I hope you guys will be there whenever that happens. Judith said, should hulled pumpkin seeds be soaked? Yeah, I mean, they can be. I would say it's probably best to soak any seeds that you're going to eat. It's not only going to help with, washing off dirt particles and, maybe mold or anything that might be on there, but it's going to also hopefully help to get some water content in there. The seed will soak it up a little bit, make it a little more digestible. Possibly it could start the germination process, so it could help with digestion in that sense as well. So yeah, I mean, I would say soak any nuts and seeds you're going to eat if it's practical. I mean, I don't always soak my nuts and seeds, so I wouldn't expect other people to do it 100% of the time. But if you can, yeah, I think it's a a good practice to have. Mallory said, "Oops, only part of my message came across. Never mind." Okay. All right, sorry. Yeah, it's probably my chat that deleted half of your message as well. So my apologies. My technology is not up to par. Still working on this stuff, guys. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me. Is there any other last minute questions here? I'm about to sign off, unless there is a pressing question that somebody needs answered. Yeah. Before I do, I'm just gonna put it out there again, guys. If you have read any of my books, I would ask that if you have a moment to please leave an Amazon review. I would really appreciate it. Uh, and even if you've only read the ebook, you can still leave an Amazon review. So, I think it definitely helps me. So I would appreciate it. And also, let me think, what are some other housekeeping things that I should say? Like the video. Like this video, please. It helps the video get out to more people. And yeah, share it around, subscribe if you haven't. I feel like everybody on this call is usually a subscriber. So but yeah. So like the video if you could, and go if you want. If you haven't picked up, one of my books, it's available on Amazon in paperback, or you can get it on my website in the ebook version. I do think these are some of the best books you can get on the raw vegan lifestyle, and I gotten great feedback on it. So I got to start promoting them more, even though I do try and give them away as much as I can on the show and all that. So yeah, again, I would appreciate any reviews that can be put on Amazon. That would help me out a ton. And other than that, I don't really have much else for you guys. Unless, let's see. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Naomi. I appreciate you. Carl, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here all the time and your great questions. So I will end it at that, everybody. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your, weekend and a good week. And next week, we're going to have on actually the host of the retreat in Michigan. And we're going to talk about the retreat and what's going to be involved with it and how you can go to it, be a part of it. And, it's going to be my first retreat. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great time. I'm going to be tent camping, so that'll be fun. I haven't camped in a tent in a few years now. A few years ago I did, but yeah. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing some of you there. If maybe you're gonna go again, you can get $100 off with my code MATT100 when you sign up. And next week we'll talk more about it. Share the link to the site and all that. And yeah, hope to see you there. But all right, that's all I got. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you guys have a great week again. Always follow your raw intuition.